Hey guys, so I've been travelling recently and I've only got back a couple of days ago. By the time this video goes up, it'll probably be a couple of weeks, sorry. So I've travelled a lot and it's been really fun, but since seems to be the tradition at the moment from getting back every week and then telling a story about where I've been, naturally I do have another story from being in Exeter, or Exmouth, whatever. Same place, kind of, almost. They're like 15 minutes away. Okay, so let me tell you guys about the first day that we were in Exeter. Or Exmouth, whatever. I'm just gonna call it Exeter because it's gonna confuse me otherwise. Okay, so the first part of the day was relatively uneventful. Like, we get to the bus station and we get on the bus eventually. I mean, we got lost for like half an hour before, but it doesn't matter. So we get on the bus and we're all sort of split up from each other, and two of us are sat next to smokers and the other two were like way behind us somewhere, so I don't know what they were sat next to. What they were sat next to? Is that offensive? I don't know, some of the people on that bus, maybe. Anyway, so it's about a just under 3 hour journey, and we arrive at our stop and get out and waiting for another bus to take us to the person's house that we're staying in. I should point out that the reason we were going was for a camping trip. I mean, we were going to be staying in a tent in a friend's back garden, so yeah, that's about as camping as we got, but anyway, so as we're waiting for this bus to come, which we find out later isn't going to come and have to take another one, we decide to get some food. And there's a nice, there's a food place that was right nearby. So, being hungry, I ordered some burgers. Burgers? Not plural. I ordered burger. Just probably a good thing too, because ew. Like, I took a bite into it and ew. Just the floppiest meat. The worst kind of cheese, just ew. It was more oil than meat. So obviously after that I was still hungry and I decided to get something from one of the vending machines. I was like, hey, what can really go wrong with that? I mean, unless it's just full of maggots, there's not really anything that can be wrong with this. So I was proven wrong again. So I go to get one of the pink and white nougat bar things because I'm like, hey, what can possibly be wrong with that? And it's frozen. How? How is it frozen? They don't even, like, the machines don't cool them. It's just a storage. Or at least I don't think they cooled them. At least not enough to freeze it. And I'm like, why? So I had an oil burger and a frozen nougat bar for, well, my lunch that day, which was lovely. Anyway, this is where things start to get a little bit more interesting. So we get on the bus, and me and the three other girls that were with me? I don't know how to grammar. Anyway, we all had these like bags with us, backpacks, and a giant one for the tent thing. Probably a bigger bag than necessary, but it was huge. And I had my kind of large carry bag thing, because I don't want it to seem like I'm the kind of person who takes like huge amounts of baggage everywhere, but I've been using the same bag for like week-long trips as I was for this trip, which was 3 days. And don't judge me, okay? Literally, I've just been living out of the same bag for the last month. So, shush. But obviously with these huge bags, we were like, okay, so we're gonna need to sit near the front, you know, where that, like, big open space is. Can you even see my hand actions? I don't know what to do with hand actions in this because the camera is awful. So, open space. This probably just makes it look even weirder. Anyway, we have to put them in the open space, and we're sat in the two front seats, so they're obviously priority seating. And being tired and hungry, we didn't really realise where we were sitting until some people came on the bus and there was a wheelchair with them and a couple of family members. So obviously we shuffle around and try to position things as well as they will possibly fit. It's a bit like playing Tetris. Like, we can't really move much because, I mean, our bags won't fit up the tiny aisle along the middle and we can't really do anything else. So we end up just shuffling things and we stay where we're sat. Now, the other family members find their seats and it's all good. So we're all sat down by this point and the driver turns around to us while waiting for the bus to start and he's just like, girls, you realise where you're sat, right? And we're like, yes? I mean, we realise where we are, and if you want us to get up and move, that's fine. I don't know what we're doing with our bags if you want us to move, but everyone's already sat down, and literally, like, the other side they were sat on, so I don't know what his problem was, but we were like, okay. So the bus starts, and we're like, okay, not saying any more about it, awesome. And it gets to the next stop, and he's like, alright girls, get off. And mean, like, there's 4 of us, there was 2 of us sat in the seat, 2 of us behind, and we're all just kicked off the bus. In the middle of nowhere, with a mile's walk to the place that we're actually trying to get to. And not really knowing what else to do, we just start to walk with our 2 giant bags, backpacks, and what's more, he dropped us off just outside the military base as well. I mean, if there's any way not to look shady with giant bags and hoodie-wearing teens, it's outside a military point. So anyway, we start going down the side paths, and there's literally nowhere for us to be walking. Like, we single file across grass on the side of a road, and we were given vague instructions of where to go. It was like, cross past this thing, but there was like 2 turn-offs, and being that we're so dumb, we went down the path which is too thin for any cars to go down and obviously couldn't be a house at the end. But hey, we went down that one. So we didn't even get like halfway down this road before we realised that we've made a mistake. Like, there's sewage on one half of the path. Half of the path? Hey, that rhymes. But it's literally like, if it wasn't so sunny, I would imagine to find a dead body down there. But we get back on the right road and it's all a hibbity-bibbity, like, country road thingy. So again, no pathways for anyone to be, like, walking down the side of. And lo and behold, as soon as I pointed that out, guess what happened? Yeah. So the car's coming over and we've got like 0.3 seconds to react, and most of the girls, like the 3 others, are standing on the other side of the path. And I'm just on the other side like, what do I do? What do I do? Because it's coming this way. Like, it's, that side is the safe side and I'm just here like with my bag. What do? So I just pick it up and in my infinite logic, just fall backwards like a dead meerkat or something. Just pick it up and just fall. I don't know what the logic was behind this. Like, there was none. It didn't make any sense. I was just like, I literally could have just picked it up and stood back a little bit, and that would have been fine. But no! I will just fall dead. I mean, it looked from the other's perspective as if the car just hit me and ran over. I mean, it was great because the others almost peed themselves to laughter, which is brilliant. So at least my stupidity caused humour, which is basically my entire purpose in life at this point. So, yeah. So eventually we get our tent set up in the back garden, and it's quite a big tent, and it took the 4 of us to figure out how to do it, while the man of the house person is watching on, and he works at the military base that we were dropped off at, so obviously it's quite funny for him to watch us try and figure out how to put all the poles in the right place. By the end of it, one side looked okay and the other one was just like curled in on itself. I don't know what we did wrong, but I mean, it stayed up. So that's something. Except we realised we hadn't done quite as good a job as we thought when we woke up with a bird in the tent. Like, as if this trip couldn't get any weirder. Just been rained on, kicked off a bus, gone down death alleys, and now there's a bird in our tent. I gotta commend the girl that noticed it. Again, I'm not naming people, sorry. But the bird was just like flapping around in the middle, and she was just like, guys, there's a bird! And as soon as she mentioned it, like, the other person in her tent was just like, whoop, straight away, just like, tiny little peeky hole to look out to see if the bird's still there. The girl I was on the other side with just didn't really do anything. I'm not sure if she was awake or just dead to the world, I don't know. But obviously I had to be the one to get up and remove the bird, and I was so proud of myself actually, because, like, being sleep deprived and dumb at the best of times, my first thought was, I will pick up bird and put it outside. Like, this is the first time that I've stopped myself from making a bad choice before I've done it, so I'm like, no, that would be a dumb idea. So instead I just unzip the thing and wait for it to go out. And I felt so sorry for the bird because it's just looking at us like, let me go, human! But it was a tiny little cute bird, a little robin redbreast, which I thought only comes out in the winter, so I guess summer's over then. And even with all that, we had an absolutely amazing time, so don't think that we didn't. Like, we were laughing the entire way through most of this dumb stuff, and it was great. We also managed to get on a speedboat one of the days, and we saw a ghost as well, which was something, and nothing will tell me otherwise. Like, I'll tell you that story in the next video, but I do not believe by any shadow of a doubt that it could have been anything other than a ghost. Anyway, that's it for this video, and this is probably the last time that you guys see, like, this setup, because I'm moving, finally. I mean, I mentioned it a few videos ago, but now it's actually happening, so yeah, starting university, moving out, big things happening, so yeah, except the one thing I will warn you guys about, and I'll try to see how I can figure it, is that the new place will be much bigger than here. So despite this place being like disgustingly small and claustrophobic, it does have really good acoustics. So going to the new place, you'll actually see that I have more of a body than just a head, which is good. So yeah, I don't know what the new setup's gonna be, but it'll be different. And yeah, so bye. Like, I'm not kidding about how small this room is. You guys can't see it, but like, these are the walls. This is my space that I have to film in.